In the vast blue expanse of our oceans, a remarkable hunter glides silently through the water. This is the cuttlefish, a creature of extraordinary intelligence and artistry. For years, tales have been told of its mesmerizing abilities. Some have suggested that it can hypnotize its prey, using shimmering waves of color to lull an unsuspecting crab or shrimp into a trance before striking. It is a captivating idea, one that paints the cuttlefish as a mysterious magician of the deep. But the truth, as is so often the case in the natural world, is even more fascinating than the myth. It is not magic, but a brilliant and calculated manipulation of visual perception that gives this animal its edge. What we are witnessing is not a form of mind control, but rather a profound understanding of how other creatures see the world. The cuttlefish doesn't need to cast a spell over its prey's mind. Instead, it plays tricks on its eyes and its brain. It creates optical illusions so powerful that its victim becomes utterly confused, unable to process what is happening. The cuttlefish uses its skin as a dynamic screen, projecting patterns that bewilder and disorient. This is a strategy born of millions of years of evolution, a finely tuned weapon in the constant underwater battle for survival. It is a testament to the sheer ingenuity that life can produce in the most challenging of environments. The idea of hypnosis is a human interpretation of a behavior we are only just beginning to understand. When we see the rhythmic pulsing colors ripple across a cuttlefish's body, it is easy for us to imagine a hypnotic effect. We see the prey freeze, seemingly captivated just moments before the cuttlefish's two long feeding tentacles shoot out with astonishing speed. But scientists believe this stillness is not a trance. It is a moment of sensory overload. The prey is simply unable to compute the dazzling display, its brain struggling to identify the approaching shape as a threat. It is a clever ruse, a visual trick that exploits the very wiring of its victim's nervous system. So while the story of the hypnotic cuttlefish is a compelling one, the scientific reality reveals a creature that is perhaps even more impressive. It is a master of camouflage, a strategist, and an illusionist all rolled into one. It does not need to bend the will of its prey. It simply needs to fool its eyes. By doing so, it can approach its next meal without ever being truly seen, moving through the water like a ghost. This remarkable ability sets the stage for one of the most sophisticated hunting displays in the entire animal kingdom, a performance of light, shadow, and movement that is as deadly as it is beautiful. The secret to the cuttlefish's incredible ability lies within its skin. This is no ordinary covering. It is a complex and responsive organ, a living canvas capable of producing an almost infinite variety of colors, patterns, and even textures. The key to this remarkable transformation is a network of tiny specialized cells called chromatophores. Each chromatophore is a small sac filled with pigment. It is surrounded by minuscule muscles. When the cuttlefish flexes these muscles, the sac expands, revealing the color inside. When it relaxes them, the sac shrinks and the color disappears. It is a simple mechanism, but one that allows for breathtaking control. This system is wired directly to the cuttlefish's brain. This means the change can happen in an instant, faster than the blink of an eye. The cuttlefish can see its surroundings and, in a fraction of a second, command thousands of these chromatophores to expand or contract. It can paint a perfect imitation of a sandy seabed, a mottled rock, or a piece of seaweed onto its own body. This allows it to vanish completely from view, becoming just another part of the landscape. This is not just camouflage, it is an active living invisibility cloak, adapted and adjusted in real time. But the display goes beyond simple color. Beneath the chromatophores lie other layers of cells that reflect and scatter light in different ways. Some cells, called iridophores, create iridescent greens, blues, and golds, much like the shimmering colors on a soap bubble. Deeper still, leucophores provide a bright white background, making all the other colors appear more vivid. By combining these different layers, the cuttlefish can create not just static patterns, but dynamic, shimmering, and pulsing displays. It can even change the texture of its skin, raising small bumps called papillae to mimic the rough surface of a rock or coral. This complete mastery over its appearance is what makes the cuttlefish such a formidable predator and such a difficult target for its own enemies. Whether hiding, hunting, or communicating with other cuttlefish, its skin is its primary tool. It is a language written in light and pattern, a constant flowing dialogue with the world around it. The speed and precision of these changes are controlled by one of the largest brains, relative to body size, of any invertebrate. It is a clear sign of a highly intelligent and adaptable animal, one that has perfected the art of visual deception over countless generations. Among the cuttlefish's many visual tricks, one hunting technique is particularly ingenious. It is known as the passing stripe display. Imagine a small fish or shrimp, alert and watchful for any sign of danger. Suddenly, it sees a series of dark, undulating bands moving across a nearby surface. These stripes ripple continuously in one direction like shadows passing over the seafloor. The display is constant and rhythmic, and it does something remarkable to the prey's visual system. Because the pattern itself is moving, the brain of the shrimp or crab struggles to perceive the stationary object creating it. The cuttlefish itself seems to disappear behind its own moving pattern. This is not hypnosis, but a sophisticated form of motion camouflage. The prey's brain is tricked into focusing on the moving stripes, not on the creature generating them. The constant motion of the pattern makes it very difficult for the prey's simple eyes to detect the edges of the cuttlefish's body. As the cuttlefish slowly glides closer, the stripes continue their ceaseless flowing dance. The prey remains fixated on this confusing visual noise, failing to register the approaching danger. It is an optical illusion that effectively renders the hunter invisible, allowing it to close the distance without triggering a flight response from its intended meal. Scientists who study animal vision believe this works by exploiting what is known as peripheral drift illusion. The prey's eyes cannot lock onto a stable target. Instead of seeing a solid predator getting closer, it perceives only a bewildering, moving background. The cuttlefish has, in effect, hacked its victim's senses. It is a stunning example of how a predator can evolve to manipulate the very way its prey experiences reality. The cuttlefish doesn't need overwhelming force or venom. Its greatest weapon is its ability to create confusion and doubt in the mind of its target, a moment of hesitation that is all it needs. This strategy is a testament to the cuttlefish's complex understanding of its environment and the creatures within it. It demonstrates that the cuttlefish is not just changing its color to match a static background. It is creating a dynamic illusion, a moving picture show designed for a very specific audience of one. The passing stripe display is a silent, deadly performance. It allows this soft-bodied animal to approach even the most skittish of prey, turning its own body into a mesmerizing distraction that conceals its true intent until it is far too late for its victim to escape. While the passing stripe display is one of its most stunning techniques, the cuttlefish has many other tricks in its hunting repertoire. Its creativity seems almost boundless. For example, some cuttlefish have been observed mimicking inanimate objects to get close to their prey. A small cuttlefish might flatten its body, change its color to a mottled brown, and drift along the seafloor, perfectly imitating a dead leaf or a piece of floating algae. A wary shrimp, seeing only what it believes to be harmless debris, will allow the hunter to get incredibly close before the disguise is dropped and the feeding tentacles are deployed with lightning speed. In other situations, a cuttlefish might use bold, contrasting patterns to startle or disorient its prey. It can suddenly flash a dark, intimidating pattern, causing a fish to freeze in confusion for just a critical moment. Or it might send rapid pulses of dark and light colors across its body, creating a strobe-like effect that can be bewildering. These displays are not about hiding, but about overwhelming the senses. Each strategy is carefully chosen depending on the type of prey, the environment, and the specific circumstances of the hunt. This adaptability is a hallmark of a truly intelligent predator. The sheer variety of these hunting displays is a subject of intense scientific study. Researchers are still working to understand the full catalogue of patterns and the precise context in which each one is used. They use underwater cameras to document these behaviors, trying to decipher this complex visual language. How does a cuttlefish decide whether to use camouflage, a moving pattern, or a startling flash? Does the choice depend on the prey's eyesight? These are the questions that continue to drive our exploration of these remarkable animals, reminding us that there is still so much to learn about life beneath the waves. The cuttlefish truly is a master of underwater illusion. Its ability to transform its appearance at will makes it one of the most successful and fascinating hunters in the ocean. From blending seamlessly into its background to deploying dazzling light shows that confuse and bewilder, Its skills are unparalleled. Every hunt is a performance, a carefully choreographed display of light, color, and deception. As we continue to study these magnificent creatures, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity and wonder of the natural world, a world filled with animals that can still surprise and astonish us.